Hello and welcome to the Socknest monster channel. Hope you enjoy it here. So I had to make a video about Valko. This so far his first PV is out, and then two of his sort of like intro trailers where it's like don't bathe in the pot, and then greetings humans I think is the other one. Anyway, so I decided just to make a quick video about my thoughts so far. Yeah, and so because we're talking about paranormal, you can call me the Professor PNR, as in paranormal romance. I'm an expert, I assure you. Okay, so I think that's the intro over. Okay, next one. Okay, the first obvious thing we need to talk about is the ears. So as we see in the current PV, he's got his human ears and the wolf ears. Also, same question about the tail, but the ears specifically, like, does he hear out of those ears? Are they vestigial? Like, or is it like with other shifters where like there's a form in between man and wolf where you have features of both? In like, so he's in the middle kind of, or is it like with Silas's feral MC card where she turned to a cat? Like she kept like losing ears, gaining ears, had a tail, no tail, full cat, not full cat, fully human. Like it kept changing. So I wonder if like, and I think her senses also changed based off of what was happening, if I remember correctly. So my theory is that also the ears could be sensing something other than sound until like he is wolf, like full wolf form, right? Like maybe like some like aether thing. He can sense aether with it or something. I'm not really sure. Or medflux. Let's see. Okay, and then yeah, and the same thing with tail. The tail I think you could definitely use for balance and stuff, but otherwise like I don't think you could hear with the tail. Anyway, okay, next subject. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think next one we're talking about is evil. So it's metallization. And it appears to be like, kind of like Zane's, where like how Zane can build on ice and stuff and make ice into stuff. And also similar to Raph's, where like you can make a literal weapon out of it. Like, although his is like, Raph's isn't actually like a fire knife or dagger, it's like fire that then turns into a dagger. Whereas this, it's like, I think it's a literal like claymore sword out of like whatever the metal is. But it looks like it's like kind of like an Ultram thing where he has like a protocore crystal or something stuck in him, and then like from there then he can control it and turn it into like use it to control the metal. Like I saw this theory with like Slashterpiece Gaming, as well as I think Angel Corner also mentioned it. Maybe there's someone else mentioned it. But definitely Slashter did. Yeah. So that just makes me think that like, I know they were already experimenting on the bio evils, but like I think this kind of confirms it, in which case we'll get to the foils later, but things related to the foils. Okay, so foil. So definitely Angel's Corner, PIA, Duckling, many others have mentioned foils, basically, but I think those are most of the first two I think of. And we're all pretty sure that Valko will be the foil to Raphael, hence like the reddish brown hair, amber eyes, and then like the fact that he's a werewolf, like land creature, mystical creature versus water mystical creature, like it balances out really well. Another thing I can think of just based off of the video is that like Raphael like is an assassin and is like taking down Ever through like assassinations, and he doesn't want to get his like family and like other Lemurians involved, really. he's trying to protect them by not like making them do the dirty work. Whereas Valko, it seems like, from what I've based off of just what I've seen so far, it seems like his family started Gaia, in which case in order to probably protect themselves. Like, because if they are like all shifters, then they're all at risk for being like experimented on by like other companies. So I think probably to protect themselves and their whole family, instead of like doing quiet assassinations, I think they just made their own experimentation company or something like that, so they can control it better. And also they would know who else is in the business probably. So like, yeah, so that's a different, very interesting foil to Raphael's method. And that's as well as like they both make weapons out of evil. Let's see, they both have that hoodie thing for their myth. But it's not exactly the same. Like, Raph is obviously like a quick stabby dagger guy, and this guy's definitely a slow claymore claws guy. Let's see. Oh, also, with another part of the foils is their like tropes, sort of. So Raphael's like very closed off to begin with, but then he wants to just hang around you a bunch and is like, he can't help but open himself up to you, basically. Like, it just happens, like, but he's acting like it's not happening, basically. So he's kind of like messing around with you a bit because he doesn't want to make you know that he is vulnerable to you. And also, oh, another thing is that he's an artist, right? And like all the Lemurians are artists, and that's what they do. Let's see. Okay, and then but it looks like with Valko, it looks like he's just immediately like socially more open to begin with, but then I have a feeling that behind the scenes he's gonna be more closed off. Like, because he's protecting his family as opposed to just himself. He's gonna be like more closed off as far as his actual motives, like it says in like the screen in the PV. Yeah, so that'll be interesting difference there. Also with, also he's I think he's a hacker as well as a chairman. And also, by the way, chairman is not the same thing as CEO, which just makes me think also why his family is also owns like the company that created Gaia, is that like chairman is like chairman of the board type of thing. So there's a board of people, and then he's at like the top of it, but they can still like, they don't have to do what he says all the time, and I think they can even vote him out possibly. Whereas CEO actually like owns the company. So yeah. Anyway, so there's a difference there. Where was I going with that though? Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's a hacker. I think he's like, you know, that red eyeball thing that you see at the very beginning of the game? That's like kind of like looking at her through a window, and then in the nest that announces the hunt before she gets like syringed into sleep. Like I think that's him. Like I think he is that drone essentially. Like I think he hacked it. And it also, like, I think that could be another use of his evil. So I think that's it for foils, though. Yeah, okay. Next one. Ooh. Come on. Hold on. Okay, and then the next biggest question is will this be Omegaverse? Short answer, I don't think so. I think it's a little bit extreme. Like full Omegaverse, I think is a bit extreme for Infold. Like, because then the game would definitely have to be like 18 plus. There's no way around it, basically. So, but I do think he is an alpha, like as in people follow what he says because either by his family rights or like his abilities that he's like on top. Like either way, I think in some way he has earned like the title of alpha, and in the like hierarchy of like the shifter wolves or the people in his family, his kin. Like, so he's on top because of that. Like, so I'm assuming like if he makes decisions that others don't like, he might be able to be challenged. Is an option. Also, while ABO can be shifters and shifters can be ABO, like they're not necessarily the same thing. Like there's a little bit of overlap, but usually they are separate, at least in current modern writing. But some hints that we have going on here is like the scenting. Scenting keeps coming up a lot so far already, and that's pretty common on I think both sides of the Venn diagram. So in this case, I think it looks like it's actual scent, possibly, but sometimes it can be soul scenting or like just a sense of like compatibility, or some other metaphorical scenting thing. It's not always like the olfactory nerves. And then also, I think if he's anything like Raphael, then he will actually turn into a wolf. In the teaser trailer to the PV, we saw like him sort of turn into a wolf, but I think he maybe can actually turn into a wolf. Like just how Silas can turn into a dragon. You just don't see it really. Yeah, so I think that's another thing that could happen. I think that's mostly it, but yeah, so the short answer, no. Long answer, there might be some overlaps, but there's definitely no nodding or anything like that, probably is my opinion, although fanfiction writers go at it, like, go write your heart out, whatever you want. I'm not judging you. Okay, and then next will be the lyrics. Got the main stuff, it's like, so I'm the threat that lurks in the darkness, that you can't see. It can flip from cool to savage, from brain to teeth. So obviously he's smart and he's dangerous. So I'm sorry, Tama, like he's probably not a himbo. He might look like a himbo and maybe give off the vibe of a himbo, but I think he's too intelligent to be a himbo. So sorry. No, you really wanted that. Okay, and of course you're probably watching this. For sure. Okay, then he says, I've got chills in my fur, a thrill of danger, something primitive. It can have any lure, or it can hack any lure to feed my hunger. So got hack already mentioned here. And then like a lot of stuff like danger, primitive, fur, like there's a lot of like stuff that like is on the far end of like our love interests, where it goes from like Xavier to like Silas and Caleb, and then like, so he's definitely in the far end for sure of like the what do we call it, like prince versus wolf like dichotomy, I guess. Like he's no prince, probably he's definitely wolf. Let's see. Oh yeah, and it says that's how I'm wired to be, so it's like instinctual, it's like natural for him. But then it switches, so that's like talking about how he is, right? And then but then it switches to, I think, one of the choruses. I'm not really sure how it's composed. But it says, but your scent blurred all the signals, intoxicated me, like a new glitch in the code of the beast in me. Yeah, so obviously you got glitch, so like hacking again. And then basically she's an anomaly, once again. So he didn't see her coming, and she's probably going to behave, MC's going to behave differently than like pretty much everyone else he's ever met before, and also maybe like just everything about her will be different. And that's also, there's some hints of that later, like let's see, also the song is definitely a banger. Yeah, because then it says like, but your lovey scent has put a spell on me. Once again we got scent. Oh yeah, and then I'm intrigued by the way you're different from all I have seen. I should follow what the elders say, but you're locked in me. Which I don't think locked is referring to naughty, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's more like some like genetic lads fantasy. But yeah, like elders. So I think the elders might be the rest of the board, possibly. Or or some people like in the wolf pack, probably there's elders telling him like, oh, like we can't trust outsiders essentially, and like he's insofar she's the only outsider that has intrigued him, and like he following everything he grew up with, he shouldn't be trusting her at all, but like some instinctual part of him definitely wants to trust her. Yeah, and there's more mentioning of rules, but we don't care about them. It's just you and me, like, yeah. But you're sent for all the signals. Okay, I think there was another variation of that. And also it says one of the courses, like, howling for love. I've never felt it, so I don't think he's been in a serious relationship before, so I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy about that. But it also implies that, like, he possibly has one scent match ever, or they all have their scent match, just like how the Lemurians have, like, their bond kind of thing. So there's only one per person. Okay, so, and it says for my enemy, and in the video he says, like predators that have the same prey are enemies. So I'm feeling like MC and him will have the same prey, which whoever that is, it's probably something related to Ever, possibly, or people testing on his people in some way. Okay, and then risk, all that stuff. Define those linings. Yeah, you put a spell on me. So I think that's the lyrics. So I think the lyrics match what we've seen so far, but give a little hint about like the elder thing. So I think it's a hint at like what social stuff she's going to be stepping into. Okay, and then the last thing. Okay, and last thing I'm gonna do is book recommendations. So if you like the preview, I don't know if like we don't know enough about the character Valko yet to like know if these like recommendations will match him. It's more in vibes what we've seen so far. So if you like the preview, you might, and you like Wolf Shifter stuff, or even Omegaverse maybe, depends on the book. I would like recommend Nalina Singh books. She does a lot of books. When talking about the Changeling ones, I think it's Esper Changeling, or I forgot what it's called. It's the Changeling. It's one of the animals, animals and then like people with mental powers basically getting together. But specifically the Wolf Shifter ones, there are Cat Shifter ones. I think there's now a Bird Shifter one. But the Wolf Shifter books specifically, and I think it'll say it on the. You might see a wolf on the cover or something like that. But also specifically the Hawk Snow one, which is he's an alpha, but his story is very interesting. But he has that playful, well, kind of playful with his love interest. He has a playful side. So feeling like Valko might. I wonder if Valko will only be playful with MC. We'll see. I'm not sure. Anyway, those are really good. Those are not Omegaverse. Then there's Elizabeth Deer. She does the May Fortune in like Blackstone Academy series. Those are not Omegaverse first, but they are Shifter, and all the characters are really cool. Let's see, and then but she also has another series with Omegaverse in it, and it's very similar to the Shifter one. Like she likes to write the same characters kind of, but because they're fun, like it's okay. I'm okay with it. Whatever. Just keep writing the same characters. Go the writer. Yeah. Okay, then and lastly Patricia Briggs. So you got Mercy Thompson, which is like a bunch of mystical creatures, and then including werewolves, and there's a lot of pack dynamics, which I feel like might come up in the story for Love in Deepspace. And also her Alpha Omega series, which is specifically wolves, whereas Mercy Thompson, like her love interest is a wolf. So yeah, and that's it. Thanks if you're watching this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my Twitch channel to see which charity I'm currently fundraising for. Let's see. Hopefully see you live maybe. Like, subscribe, and chat in the comments. I really want to discuss this whole preview thing in Valko. Like, I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah. All right. Bye.